My name is Lee from sportcbds.com, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my morning flexibility stretching routine. As you will see in this video, I'm not the most flexible person in the world. I've not stretched already to do this video for you guys. This is me just jumping out of bed and filming what I do in the morning. So the technique isn't the best, I know that, but at the same time, I'm stretching to try and loosen their muscles and get better every time. So understand that, and I hope you enjoy. Now with this stretching routine, I have been doing yoga for around 5 years now. And a lot of what I do in this stretching routine is in conjunction with the sun salutation, or salute to the sun as it's known in yoga, which is the warm-up you do before every class. But what I've done with this is incorporate some different movements just to sort of work some different muscle groups in the process. So hope you enjoy it.
Stand at the front of our mat with our hands together in prayer position, arms in the air. Lean back, stretch the spine, and down, touch our toes, right leg back, and left leg back into plank, lower the knees, lower the chin, chest, down to the mat into cobra, back into downward dog, lower the right knee, bringing the left foot back, bring the right foot forward, stretch up to the sky, hands together, then down, left leg back, right leg back into plank, lower both knees, down into cobra, back into downward dog, lower the left knee, bringing the right leg forward, bring the left leg forward, stretching up and stretching the spine.
That's the normal salute to the sun. What I like to do now is incorporate a couple of different movements into the routine.
As before, we lean back, then lean forward, bringing the right leg back, but this time sitting up, putting our hands on our front knee. This gives a great stretch to the hip area and also the quads. Let it sit there for a minute, deep breathing. Put our hands down, bring our left leg back. Then we place our left arm through and underneath our right and rest our shoulder on the mat to stretch the shoulder area and also the back of the right side. Then we swap sides, lower the right shoulder to the ground, bringing the arm through and stretching the left arm out in front of us. Deep breathing all the time. We hold this for around 10 to 15 seconds. Then we sit up and lean back, and then lower ourselves down, and then back up into cobra. Once again back to downward dog. Lowering the left leg, bringing the right leg forward, but then this time we move our right arm through our front right leg, which gives you a deeper stretch on the hamstring of the leading leg, not to mention the muscles that connect the hip joint to the front of the trailing leg.
As my yoga teacher says, deep breathing.
Then we move the hand back around to the front, bring the left leg forward, then we stretch up to the sky, lean back to stretch the spine, then once again touch our toes, bring the left leg back, and once again putting our hands on the leading leg to really stretch the hip joint and also the muscles on the front of the trailing leg. Deep breathing all the time. If you want to make this a little bit harder for yourselves, you can bring your arms together, stretch them up to the sky, and balance there for a moment. Then bring both hands down, bring the right leg back, opening our legs to stretch the groin area. This is known in yoga as swan pose. We stretch our arms down the mat as far as possible, deep breathing all the time for around 10 seconds. Carefully bringing our legs back onto the mat. Once again, leaning forward, coming into cobra pose. Then back into downward dog, as always. Lifting one leg then the other to stretch the calf muscles, backwards and forwards. Bringing the left leg forward, and once again wrapping the left arm around the leg to get a deeper stretch with the hamstring of the leading leg. This also works the hip flexor muscles of the trailing leg as well as the quadriceps. Take the left arm back from around the leg, bring the right leg forward, touch your toes, stretch up to the sky, lean back, then back down to touch your toes, bring the right leg back, stretching the hamstring. Then we rotate the left arm to do a spinal rotation, deep breathing. We hold here for a good 10 seconds. Bring the left arm back down and the left leg back into plank position. Once again lowering the legs, chin and chest down, up into cobra, back into downward dog, bringing the right leg forward, once again spinal rotation, rotating the right arm into the sky. Lowering the right arm, bringing the left leg forward, touch our toes, then stretching up to the sky, lean back, then once again touch our toes, bringing the right leg back, then following with the left leg back into plank, then lowering both knees and stretching with our arms out as far down as the mat as possible. Deep breathing all the time. Then we move forward so that our palms are on the mat and we are kneeling down, and then we go between cat and cow pose. Here we push our spine down as far as possible to the mat and sticking our bum up in the air. Then we push up as high as we can into cat pose. Then we lower ourselves back into cow pose. When feeling comfortable to do so, lifting our head so that you get the arch in the spine, then lowering the head, pushing up as high as we can with our spine, then lowering back down into cow pose. Repeat this process while breathing for 10 to 15 seconds. Once complete, lowering the chin and the chest down to the mat, lifting up once again into cobra, then back into downward dog, lowering the right knee, bringing the left foot forward, once again wrapping the left arm around the leg to get that extra stretch in the hamstring. Take the hand from around the leg, bring the right foot forward, touch your toes, then stretch up, lean back, and then once again lean forward to touch your toes, bringing the left leg back, stretching the hamstring. Once again, bringing your arms up onto your knee, and then raising your arms above your head, pointing to the sky with your palms together. Into warrior pose. Bring the right leg back into plank. Then lower the knees. Turn around to protect the knees if required. Once again, we are stretching the groin area. Then we go forward slightly just to fall back into the position of stretching the groin back into swan pose once more. As ever, deep breathing all the time to relax into the exercise. Then lift yourself back up, turn around, back to the mat. Once again, lowering our chin and chest down to the mat, then lifting up into cobra. Feet back into downward dog. Bringing the right leg forward and wrapping the arm around. One thing you can do is, if you are flexible, try and lower your elbows to the ground. Don't force it. If you're able to do that, feel free. If not, go as far as you can. Bring the arm back round and the left leg forward. Touch your toes, straighten your legs. Then as we stretch up to the sky, lean back. Then we lean forward once again to touch our toes, bringing the right leg back, and then we are placing our hands on top of our thighs, and then bringing our arms up above our head, facing the sky, palms touching, back into warrior one. Then bring the left leg back into plank. Lowering the knees, back down and stretching the shoulders and back. Lowering the chin and chest down to the mat, and once again raising into cobra. Then back into downward dog. Lowering the knees and bringing the left leg forward. Then we move the left leg over to the right hand side. A little bit difficult, as you can see, for me to do this. But what we're trying to do now is go into pigeon pose. Resting our forearms and elbows on the floor, looking ahead. This is a great stretch for those who suffer with sciatica, myself included. Always remember to breathe deeply to settle into the stretch. This one can be difficult, so please take your time when in the stretch, as it can be quite painful. But as I always mention, just breathe deeply, concentrate on the breath. Then once you are finished, put both hands down, lift your body up, and then swap sides. Bringing the right leg across the body, then lowering the body down on top of the leg and leaning forward onto your forearms and elbows. Obviously everybody is at different levels, so if you can't rest your elbows on the floor, only lower as far as your hands, and then as you gain confidence and flexibility, you can lower your elbows down to the ground. Not an easy one this, but it is a great stretch. Then we bring both arms back towards our body to lift ourselves up, then back into downward dog, where we are stretching the calves by lowering the heels one after another. Then we go back into cat and cow pose respectively, stretching the spine up as high as we can go, then pushing it down as far as we can go while sticking our bottom up and our head. Then repeat. Then we sit back into child's pose, deep breathing. Then we bring the right leg forward, looking ahead. Then we bring the left leg forward, leg straight, touching our toes, stretch all the way up, palms together, then finish into prayer. Namaste.
So there you have a little glimpse into the morning stretching routine I do. Obviously just got out of bed. I'm a little bit more rigid than I would be if I probably would have done this later in the day. But all the same, that's the stretching I do in the morning to get me limbered up for the day ahead. And then I might go out and do a run. I might do some kettlebells or some resistance bands or even some bodyweight training. So there you have it. That was a stretching routine. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to leave a comment in the section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the stretching routine, and if you do any stretching or you don't, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave it in the comment section below. Also, I know I always say it, but please subscribe to the channel. It would be really appreciated so that I can keep making these videos and you won't miss any as soon as they are made. Also, head to sportcbds.com for the latest health and fitness news, workouts, meditations, healthy recipes, also CBD products. Do you need any CBD for your post-workout requirements, any aches or pains, inflammation? Then head to the Sport CBD store now. We also do Under Armour clothing, yoga clothing, and yoga accessories also. So until next time, take care. Bye-bye.